My family and I moved to a new town due to my father losing his job. We needed to find a more affordable place that fit within our new financial constraints. I had to switch schools and start the difficult process of making new friends. I had low self-esteem, partly due to a scar on my forehead from when I was a child. This scar made it difficult for me to interact with others and form new friendships at my new school. The scar on my forehead was a constant reminder of my past, fueling my insecurities and making it almost impossible for me to overcome my shyness and reach out to others at my new school. No one seemed to want to connect with me, except for Thomas. He was always in a wheelchair, but that didn't stop him from being the kindest, most joyful person I'd ever met. Even though we never had a real conversation, he greeted me with a warm smile every day, just like he did with everyone else. And when we were in music class, his voice was absolutely angelic. It was like listening to the voice of an angel. I desperately wanted to become friends with Thomas, but my low self-esteem kept me from reaching out to him. The rejection I felt from my new classmates made me feel ugly and unwanted. The loneliness was overwhelming, and I longed for the comfort of my old friend from my previous school. We'd talk on the phone, but it wasn't the same as having her by my side. As usual, I was sitting alone at lunch one day. I heard a voice from behind. I turned to see Thomas, his face beaming with warmth. "Can I sit with you?" he asked. "Sure," I replied, my cheeks flushing slightly as I managed a smile. Thomas rolled his wheelchair over and sat next to me. "You seem to be enjoying your food," he observed, his smile growing even brighter. I giggled, my hand instinctively covering my mouth. "Well, you got that right," I replied, the words bubbling out of me. We chatted about our school activities and the upcoming music competition, and the conversation flowed easily between us. For a shy person like me, it was unusual to feel so comfortable around someone so quickly, but something about Thomas made me feel at ease. It was as if my soul recognized him. It became our usual thing to eat lunch together. Our friendship flourished, and it became customary for us to spend time together. Thomas's company brought me peace. His kind and gentle nature made me feel comfortable in his presence. I treasured our friendship, our moments of laughter, and the comfort of knowing that I had someone to lean on. Our bond grew stronger with each passing day, and I cherished our time together. As we enjoyed our usual lunch together, my gaze wandered to him, my curiosity piqued by the untold story of his wheelchair. Unspoken questions swirled in my mind, but Thomas seemed to sense them, his eyes meeting mine as if he could read my thoughts. It was a poignant moment, a fragile balance between curiosity and respect, hanging in the air between us. "You're probably wondering why I have to use a wheelchair. Would you like to know?" he said with a warm smile spreading across his face. "I was 8 years old when my family got into a terrible car accident," Thomas began. "We had just left church, and my dad was driving us home. Suddenly, a large truck came speeding toward us. My dad tried to swerve out of the way, but it was too late. The car lost control, rolled 4 times, and crashed into a tree. We were trapped inside, upside down, with a tree on top of the car. It was like waking from the depths of a nightmare. 3 days had passed since the accident, and when I finally opened my eyes, my parents were there, sitting by my bedside. I could feel my mother's gentle touch on my hand, and as I looked in my surroundings, I noticed the cast on her left arm and the rough scars on my dad's face. Yet, despite their injuries, they looked relieved and overjoyed. "Thank you, Jesus," they both said in unison. Though I was weak and barely able to smile, I felt a warmth and gratitude in my heart that defied words. Seeing my parents alive and well filled me with joy and relief, knowing that they were still there to share in my life's moments. As the doctor entered the room, the gravity of the situation became even clearer. He gently asked how I was feeling and if I could sense any movement in my lower body. When I shook my head, he ran his hands over my legs, and I felt nothing. I could see the fear and worry on my parents' faces. My dad instinctively brought his hands together, eyes closed, as if to send a silent prayer to the heavens. My mother's eyes brimmed with tears, but she managed a brave smile for me. My parents looked at me with warm smiles, and my mother gently brushed her hand over mine, as if trying to convey the comfort and love she held for me. "Mom," I choked out between sobs, my heart shattered as I realized the permanence of my situation. "I won't be able to walk again." My mother glanced at me, her eyes brimming with love. "Oh, my dear son," she said softly, "not being able to walk doesn't change who you are, and it certainly won't change the way we see you. We will withstand this storm together, as a family. Remember Jesus' sacrifice and how he remained faithful, despite the pain he endured." Dad tapped my left shoulder and said, "Thomas, though you may now rely on a wheelchair, God's love for you is unwavering, and you are deeply cherished in his eyes. Take solace in the blessing of life, and continue to serve the Lord with a joyful heart, even in the face of your condition." With the unwavering support of my family and friends, I slowly began to adapt to this new life. My wheelchair became a symbol of my resilience and determination, and my voice continued to bless the church congregation with its beauty. Each day, I reminded myself of Christ's love and sacrifice, understanding that, in his eyes, my worth was not measured by my ability to walk, but by my faith and heart. God sees me differently than how others see me. Thomas' story changed how I see things, and in him I found not only a dear friend, but a teacher of sorts. Each Sunday, as I attended church with him, I was humbled by his profound faith and strength. Despite his own struggle, he remained exuberant and unapologetic in his existence, laughing with his whole being and exuding an unwavering confidence that was both inspiring and contagious. He proclaimed his love for the Lord with a powerful, soulful voice that reverberated through the halls of the church, stirring the hearts of those who listened. He was a blessing to those around him. His kindness and self-acceptance encouraged me to face my own insecurities with newfound courage. Dear listener, your scars, your disabilities, and your challenges do not define you. They are not what make you who you are. Allow yourself to be defined by the love of God, who knows you better than anyone else, who values you beyond measure. You are not the sum of your difficulties, but a shining light, a beloved child of the Creator, who cares for you with an infinite love. Hold on to that truth, and let it warm your heart, as you journey through this life. Psalm 139 verse 14. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made, marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. Story by Fungai Mulakazuwa, writing hand.